Greek letters L lambda, P pi, and H eta, symbolizing what Aristotle described in his book Rhetoric as the three modes of persuasion. Logos meaning logic, pathos relating to emotion, and ethos defined as character, credibility, and ethics. The candle lighting ceremony will describe each of these Greek letters. Lambda Pi Eta was initiated by the students of the Department of Communication at the University of Arkansas and was then endorsed by the faculty and founder, Dr. Stephen A. Smith, in 1985. The Speech Communication Association established Lambda Pi Eta as an affiliate organization and as the official National Communication Honor Society for undergraduates in 1994. In February 1996, Lambda Pi Eta was inducted in the Association of College Honor Societies. There are currently 250 chapters worldwide.
The first mode of persuasion is logos, or logic. In all aspects of scholarship and its application to one's life, logic plays a major role in deliberations and problem solving. Pathos, or emotional appeal, the second symbol of our organization's title, encompasses a driving force that makes an organization vital and effective. The last mode of persuasion is ethos, or character, credibility, and ethics. Aristotle sees character credibility as a primary means of effecting change in society and in one's life. Thus, it is appropriate that ethos is a major symbol of Lambda Pi Eta.
The purposes of the Honor Society, according to our Constitution, are to recognize, foster, and reward outstanding scholastic achievement, to stimulate interest in the field of communication, to provide an opportunity to discuss and exchange ideas in the field of communication, to promote and encourage professional development among communication majors, to establish and maintain close relationships and mutual understanding between faculty and students, and to explore options for further graduate education.
The membership in Lambda Pi Eta is composed of undergraduate students who have declared an interest in the field of communication and have achieved a high level of academic excellence. To be eligible for membership, students must have completed 60 semester hours in undergraduate credit courses, have a cumulative grade point average of at least 3.0, have completed the equivalent of 12 semester hours in courses in communication, have the grade point average of at least 3.25 in these courses, be in the upper 35% of the graduating class, and be currently enrolled as a full-time student in good standing with their institution. I am pleased to present the new members of the Communication Honor Society.
Whenever I encounter someone new, I am asked what I am studying in college. Upon telling them I am a communication major, I am either told that I am meant for television and will be a great anchor, or I am asked if I am learning how to talk and interact with others. I'm always quick to correct them by saying, no, I'm concentrating on advertising. I am then asked how I like communications, and my reply is always a confident, happy, I love it. Coming into Endicott College, I was a graphic design major. While I enjoyed the classes, professors, and assignments, I always felt like I had to remind myself that I actually liked what I was doing. I decided to switch to communications to concentrate on advertising after my freshman year. I had always had an interest in advertisements and would try to figure out how companies came up with the theme they used to present their product. I felt if I had this interest already, why not pursue it? After my first semester of communication classes, I knew I'd found what I wanted to do. I was excited and eager to learn about the different sides of advertising and communication fields. Once I completed an internship at an advertising agency, it was confirmed I was meant to be in the communications field.
I chose to become a communications major because I have always had a passion for writing, expressing myself, and working with people. As I approached my freshman year, I knew communication would be a compelling and dynamic major filled with various career opportunities. While taking communication courses at Endicott, I have grown a love for advertising. I have come to know advertising as an exciting, dynamic industry, constantly offering new challenges. In class and on internship, I participated and dealt with diverse projects, clients, and causes. In class and on internship, I participated. The most enjoying aspect of advertising for me is interacting with clients and seeing the results of hard work from taking a communications project or a campaign from start to finish. With classes and 3 challenging internships with a focus in advertising and marketing communication, I am confident that majoring in communication has shaped me into the person that I am today, professionally and also from an academic standpoint. I am excited to carry the skills I have acquired through intensive courses at Endicott, as well as real-world experience that I've gained through my internship throughout my professional career.
Oscar Wilde once said, and I quote, "The imagination imitates. It is the critical spirit that creates." End of quote. These words have inspired me throughout my college career in regards to aiming for success, advising me to be original and my biggest critic. Even when I was younger, I knew I would one day enter a field that would allow me to explore and express my creative abilities. I am an individual of many passions and interests, who is constantly brainstorming, analyzing, and creating, wanting to communicate my ideas with anyone who is willing to listen. So far, becoming a communications major has been one of the most intelligent decisions I have made in my life. With the help from my courses, internships, and professors, my major has successfully directed me in the right career path I plan to pursue after graduating from here at Endicott College.
When I was 10 years old, I discovered Microsoft Publisher, which is a program that creates business cards, greeting cards, newsletters, and a lot more. My mom showed me the program so I could make a birthday card for a friend, but instead I clicked on the newsletter section. I began to write my birthday letter in the newsletter format, which led me to begin printing out a monthly newsletter just because I like to write. Beyond just writing, I like to discover and document what everyone was doing. So my career as a journalist really began when I was 10 years old, but hopefully it's not the peak of my career. In addition to my love for writing and finding out the scoop on any number of topics, I like the instantaneous nature of the internet, from creating my first blog to reading online news and joining every single social network. Going into my freshman year of college, with all interests combined, I believe communication would be a perfect major. I still have this belief. It has proved to be a field I am more immersed in with every day that passes, especially as I gain invaluable experience and knowledge from internship classes, peers, and professors.
Ever since I was a little girl, I was shy around people I wasn't comfortable with. I'm a very loud, outgoing person, but it's hard for me to share that side with people who I don't know. Going through high school, I realized I need to share my personality with others so they could get to know me and love me. So when I was applying to college, I wanted a major that would challenge me to share my outgoing personality. Endicott not only offered a communication major, but it felt like a place where I can grow and develop. I decided to concentrate in advertising so my personality can be a part and create something that inspires people as well as myself. After 2 years at Endicott, it is very clear to me that communication is the career for me, and I haven't regretted it yet.
Since middle school, when I was given my family's old camcorder, I've been interested in making films. When I was younger, my friends and I would write short, silly scripts and then act these scenes out in front of the camera, providing us with seemingly endless entertainment. I'll be the first to admit we never made anything profound, yet this was never the point. Since my childhood, I have found great joy in making films, and since coming to Endicott, I have found my true love in writing films or screenplays. Through this communication programs, I have found my many strengths and weaknesses, but one thing has remained constant: my love for making films, watching films, writing films, and studying films. Thank you.
When I was a little kid, I remember working with my father in his small print shop in Nashua, New Hampshire. I loved spending days with my dad, learning Adobe Suite, having the freedom to design business cards and invitations at such a young age. I fell in love with the creativity and realized that I wanted to go into advertising after watching him make flyers for the store. If it weren't for my dad teaching me all of this and letting me follow in his footsteps, and my mom always being there to push me and inspire me, I would not be taking the career path that I am today. I entered Endicott as a communication major with a concentration in advertising and a minor in graphic design and could not be happier. I am a communication major because I remember being that little girl who wanted to grow up to be just like her dad, and I wouldn't know today that I wanted to make commercials.
Senior year in high school, I was determined to go to art school and be a photographer along with everybody else in my art class. As graduation grew closer, I realized becoming a photographer may not be the most stable job in an already unstable economy. I started to search for other career paths that would allow me to be creative but also support myself. I looked into advertising and decided that would be a good match for me. So, with no experience or prior knowledge in the field and my parents' support and encouragement, I became a communication major. And luckily for me, it was a perfect match. A semester into college classes, I was pretty sure I had picked the right field. After my first internship, I was hooked, and after my second internship, I was in love. It was the decision made on a whim to become a communication major, but 2 internships and 3 years later, I'm positive I made the right choice.
Going into my freshman year at Endicott, I was originally listed as a liberal arts major. I then decided I wanted a direction for my education. As I was flipping through the course catalog, I asked myself, what do I actually like to do? The only answer that came to mind was watch television. So I switched to communication. However, it wasn't until the spring of my freshman year that I actually realized I had made the right decision. I was sitting in the library on a gorgeous day in May and had been working on my promotional writing final project for hours. As I was drawing my print ads, I became fully aware that I was really enjoying what I was doing. I didn't care that it was a perfect beach day and I was sitting inside. I was completely content with doing my work. It was at this moment I realized communication was a major for me.
Growing up, I would always put on shows for my family with my sisters. I always had to be the star because I thought I knew the most about movies and acting. Moving on from my stardom phase, I realized I'd love to watch the behind-the-scenes clips of movies and shows where I saw the crew, including publicists and cameramen, work. That ignited my interest in public relations and advertising. In elementary school, my favorite aspect of television was the Today Show. Much so that in my 5th grade yearbook, I stated my dream career to be like Katie Couric on the Today Show. Well, it's been 10 years since I wrote that, and I am now an executive producer and anchor for the Endicott College Television and an advertising concentration. The idea of working with the media brought me to where I am today, doing the 2 things I love in the field of communication.
Ever since I can remember, I've been drawn to magazines. If there was one sitting on the counter when I got home from school, it was a good day. The glossy, sleek, colorful finished cover always got me giddy. I would throw off my backpack, lay on my bed, and read it cover to cover. I was so invested in every article while imagining my byline at the beginning of each. I vowed to myself that one day it really would be my name on that page. It really would be my writing, and it really would be my story to share to readers. That is why I became a communication major.
I have always been fascinated with the visual interpretation of stories. When I was younger, I was an active participant on a website called Fan Fiction, where I'd write my own episodes of the show Full House. Senior year of high school, I took a class called Media Design. In this class, I learned how to film and edit. When asked to create our own short movie, my friends and I made a silent movie that we wrote the script for, filmed, and edited ourselves. After that, I was addicted. I loved the feeling of creating something that people could view, enjoy, and maybe even learn something from. When browsing the Endicott catalog of majors, the choice was crystal clear. I couldn't visualize myself studying anything else. Even though it was an easy decision, it's the best choice I could have made for myself in my educational career. I haven't regretted it once because communication is not just what I'm studying, it is my passion.
I have always loved drawing, painting, and anything creative. I chose to go into communication, specifically advertising, before college because I thought it was the best major for me with the most job opportunities coming out of school. It was also another way for me to continue being creative without actually going to art school or becoming a fine arts major. Advertising allows me to think creatively and freely and truly experiment with different ideas and concepts. I'm so excited to pursue advertising after college and see what kind of projects I'll get into.
When I was younger, I was always interested in art and writing. I loved to draw with my dad, write poetry with my mom, paint with my grandma, and be a part of a family whose creativity inspired others. Yet as I grew older, I found myself pulling inspiration from unexpected artists. I have saved pages of ripped advertisements with bold headlines and amazing visuals. As I began to learn more about the field through the media itself, and as I researched my potential, I knew from sophomore year of high school that I would someday become an advertising art director. My search for colleges was based solely on that dream and the advice given to me about the need of internship in such a competitive field. I am a communication major because it embodies everything I love and enjoy to do.
I think I always knew I was going to become a communication major. Looking back on it, I don't think I put much thought into my major choice when it came time to apply for colleges. It was just an automatic. If the school had a communication major, I was going to apply. I'm not good at science, and math makes me dizzy. Teaching overwhelms me, and nursing makes me anxious. But I do love to talk, make jokes, laugh, and be around people. I guess talking is my hobby. It's what I'm good at. Growing up in a family of talkers, jokers, and laughers, I was always encouraged and praised for letting my personality shine through. My parents and brothers always allowed me to use my voice and humor to show people who I am and what my beliefs were. I may not know what direction my communication degree will take me. Currently, I'm interning with the Special Olympics North Section in Danvers, Massachusetts, working with fundraising and public relations, and basically whatever they need me to do. And I love it right now. I get to work with people, help them, and talk. If I get to communicate for the rest of my life, I consider myself very lucky.
The reason I became a communication major is because as a little kid, I loved making short movies and videos. Every time I had a friend over, the first thing we did was get out my digital blue video camera. We never planned out what the story would be, we just went with the first thing we thought of. And at the end, we always thought they turned out amazing. But as I got older, I stopped making movies and just went to the theaters all the time. So when I started my college search and found out there was a major where I could take classes to study and analyze movies, among other things, I was immediately drawn to it and knew it was the one for me.
I would like to acknowledge Annalie Macbeth, who could not be here today because she is completing her full semester internship abroad, Carly Meerman, who is doing her internship in New York, and Amanda Krugman also could not attend today's ceremony.
All right. As newly inducted members of Lambda Pi Eta, do you accept the challenge to maintain the high academic and leadership standards set forth by the organization and to serve as examples of the achievement of excellence in the field of communication? And do you promise to work towards the achievement of the purposes and goals set down by the National Organization of Lambda Pi Eta? If so, please answer, I do.
I do.
I now present to you the newly inducted members of the New Chapter of Lambda Pi Eta for the 2011-2012 academic year. Welcome. These are truly our best and our brightest. So what I'd like to do now is ask you all if you would like to join us for refreshments back in the foyer. First off, though, we're going to take a little group picture of our inductees, but feel free to filter in the back. Thank you all for coming today.